Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, September 19th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe we're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a couple of clarifications. First off, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, NKLA. Been tracking this one on a very routine basis, and the big impressive movement continues. So a great way to start off the week. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line as it served its purpose for now. And let's get some of the newer updates in. So in the newest levels of support, for those of you that like to play pullbacks, at least in my opinion, going to be down here right around this former breakout area right there at the top part of that little miniature pattern at $1.46. So I'll make that more of the color for support. And then I do want to add in one more too, just in case there's a deeper pullback, and that level being right down there at that level, which sits at $1.38. So if you're somebody that does like to play pullbacks, then in my opinion at least, a couple of very interesting levels, $1.46 and $1.38. In terms of levels of resistance, very, very straightforward logic here. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. Just literally a question of, well, where did the party finally stop today? And that was up there at $1.63. So $1.63 is where that momentum finally ran out right there. And the good news is a very modest little pullback. So yes, it pulled back a little bit right here in this situation, but nothing huge. In fact, if I were to consider what happened before the pullback, this is now giving me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. So you could also look at it like that from that angle if you want, in terms of just a little near term here bull flag pattern. But at the end of the day, the main level that you got to think most people are watching is right there at $1.63. But all in all, as long as the price keeps on putting in these higher highs, that is by far the most important thing. Next, ticker symbol TTOO. Very nice move here today on this penny stock and has formed a good solid pattern here. And you got to think a lot of people are probably watching this pattern. So let's get this level drawn into play here. There we go. And then another area right here. So let me change that to green to represent the support. So we have our resistance, we have our support, and then maybe make the pattern easier to see. Maybe you already know where I'm headed with this because you just saw it, but we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the nice upward move here. So we have ourselves another nice little bull flag pattern. While nothing is guaranteed, my point is, isn't it, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, is it logical that if the price comes up here and breaks through that level, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So bull flag pattern is the current situation here, at least in my opinion. So if you like bull flags, you like penny stocks, definitely keep an eye on TTOO. Next one, AVGR, and a couple of key dynamics here that I think most people are watching, and the level that I'm confident quite a few people are watching, because by no means is this complicated to draw, but is this going to be this trend line right here, and people watching this to try to play the breakout. So you got to think a lot of people watching this line right here with the idea that if this thing can work its way back up, curl to that level, and then get the break, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. So if you like to play breakouts, then you got to think a lot of other people are probably watching that area to try to generate potentially that self-fulfilling prophecy. So keep an eye on that. And then for those people that like to play pullbacks, the level here that I'm not going to say as many, but a lot of people do like to try to play gap fills, and that's what that level down there at 465 is representing. You can see this was a former area of resistance back here. So just that would follow the logic that, ideally the former area of resistance would now act as support, and plus it's the gap close location. So does it come down there and bounce from there? No guarantees, but is that a valid question to be thrown out there? Absolutely. So depending on your kind of, strategy, there's definitely a couple ones here that AVGR provides. Next, TLRY, very nasty move today. Not necessarily because it was a red day, but from a technical point of view, you can see the price came down here, visited that pink line, which on my chart represents the very well-known, the very famous and important 200-period moving average. It tried to hold right there, but once it broke, you can see the bleeding has just continued to, pick up momentum, and down it's gone for the remainder of the day. So that's definitely going to be from more of the overarching standpoint. The sooner the price can get back above that level, the better. Of course, that doesn't mean that it's going to occur, but if there is any sort of bounce in the upwards direction, my point here is that I'd be skeptical of any sort of bounce until the bounce can prove itself, which leads in the valid question, okay, Clay, well, how are you defining proving itself? And that is where we get right back to that pink line there. In my definition, proving itself is not only getting back up to that pink line, but being able to get up above it and then stay up above it. So watch that as that main area of resistance. In terms of levels of support, Chart's getting harder to see here, but this is, it just goes to illustrate that it's been quite a while since the price has been down this low. So next key area of support at this point is going to be that former breakout point right down there around $2.44, which is coming from a period back in here of late August there. So again, been a long time since the price has potentially been down around this area, but that is where that 243-ish area is coming from. So yeah, definitely a very rough way to start off the week. Next one here, AMC, and overall not a great way to start off the week either. Again, not necessarily because it was red, but from a technical point of view, price is now back down below that purple line there, which I've talked about in past videos, the 50-period moving average. You can see previously the price did a good job of maintaining it and then bouncing right there, essentially a bounce right off it. Today, though, price came down there and then just didn't even look back, broke below it. But the good news is at least it didn't drop and drop and drop for the rest of the day. It at least did start to go sideways here. So you have this little wedge formation, although if I factor in what occurred before this wedge formation and factor in the downwards move there, in all actuality, that would be a bear pennant pattern. Now, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean the price is going to go up for sure. So the same is true here. Just because something's bearish does not mean that it's for sure going to go down either. But my point here is that I'd be a little skeptical until this bull pennant pattern, essentially plays out. But any sort of attempt to back up through the part of the bear pennant, then like we just talked about, prove itself, I'm defining in this situation as not the 200-period moving average, but rather the little brother, the 50-period moving average, which on my chart denoted there by that purple line. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online web class that I'm offering here later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then certainly get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. You can click to get signed up. Or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage you can click to sign up. So definitely get signed up if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Next one, CGC. I'm going to keep this very brief because there's really nothing new to talk about from the last times I've done it, but it is a popular enough stock where I do want to keep things, just kind of at least mentioned out there. But for those of you that have watched past videos, I know this is all repeat. So like I said, that's why I'm going to go through it relatively quickly. But the sideways channel is fully in play here. So nothing new. Top of the channel, resistance up there at $1.48. Bottom of the channel, support right there at $1.03, $1.04, whatever you want to call it. But other than that, really nothing to talk about from a bigger picture point of view. Of course, if I want to narrow in, I could say, well, there's a gap down today. And all that's true. But again, taking a step back and looking at it from what I think how most people are looking at this from the bigger picture point of view, all this thing's been doing over the past few days now is just chopping back and forth within the sideways channel pattern. Next one here, EBET, and overall start off the day very, very nicely. Had this big explosive move right there. And then, yes, no doubt about it, there was a pretty big pullback here. With that being said, now this is a little tricky to talk about because it depends on your strategy perspective. What do I mean? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there, maybe you quote unquote bought the dip right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 12 minutes. Well, then from that angle, the chart looks really bad because yes, this thing actually had a deep pullback here. But assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, even with a deeper pullback, the price is still above these overall moving averages, which you've now already heard of. That purple line, again, as a reminder, the 50-period moving average, pink line being the 200-period moving average. So from an overarching standpoint, the trend does still have the opportunity to build itself because it is still above those overall moving averages. Again, to reiterate, I fully understand. If you're a day trader and you bought right there, you don't care about these moving averages. But that's why I'm trying to distinguish between more so somebody that cares about the bigger picture and then somebody that's more of a day trader. But yes, big, nasty pullback today, but the price does still ultimately have the chance to build a higher base. So we'll see if the bulls can get that job done or not moving forward. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and overall rough day here with the move down, especially that opening 30 minutes. You can see there was a bit of a gap down, but then that opening candle, just big red nasty candle. So first thing I'm going to do here is just get rid of these lines up here. Sure, they still pertain to the chart. They're just not necessarily relevant anymore. And from a presentation standpoint, I don't want to risk causing clutter and confusion because there's lines everywhere. Now, the first update I'm going to do now that we have more data is I want to make an adjustment. But the key question is what direction is just adjustment being made? And now that we have more data, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of support down to that level at $264.50. And as you saw, I needed to adjust that support in the downwards direction. So if you were bullish, not a great sign. Now, does that mean everything's destroyed and ruined? I'm not saying that, but usually you want to see, assuming you're bullish, you want to see supports getting adjusted in the upwards direction. And then from just a pattern standpoint, because I know a lot of people are bearish on these and play puts and shorts. So we have ourselves another bear pennant pattern here. But again, just like the previous one, I don't remember which one that was. Just because there's a bearish pattern doesn't mean for sure guaranteed this thing's going to go down. I'm just saying, be aware of that there is a bearish kind of flavor to things right now in this one. In the event the price does break to the downside, next key area of support after that would then be down there right around the 261 mark from a support standpoint. If there is any sort of attempted bounce, then all eyes on that purple line there, which you now know is the 50-period moving average. Next one, AMD. And first off, I'll start with the level that I talked about in the last time I did the video, and it just goes to show the power of charts here. But for those of you that watch past videos, hopefully remember me talking about that red line there at the 103.15 mark. And the power of charts, you can see price was down here and bounced back up and bounced back up and bounced back up. And oh, what a coincidence, right at that red line. So the power of charts, I'll turn that into a quick plug. Definitely go get signed up for that free class. But 103.15 was a level of resistance that I talked about previously, and after today it flexed its muscles and still is indeed a level of resistance at 103.15. In terms of levels of support, good to see that this level ultimately did maintain itself at 185 for that opening 30 minutes. When the price broke down below it right there, things were definitely looking sketchy, because you remember at one point this was a big nasty red candle. But by that time that opening 30 minutes was finished, the price did bounce back up and it created what we would call a hammer candle, and then, did get the bounce. But that opening 30 minutes, that support had been violated and the price was down below it. But because the price has gotten back above it, 185 still remains that main area of support. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to rise, this one will also rise. It just allows you access at a much lower price point. And overall today, the levels that you would want to see hold did indeed hold. Main level being that level there that I talked about last week at 39.38 or 39.40, whatever you want to call it. But you can see right here, opening 30 minutes, price came down here, and it didn't bounce exactly off that line, but it got pretty darn close. So again, go get signed up for that class. Charts, are they perfect? No, but are they a valuable tool? Absolutely. So moral of the story here, 39.40 still going to be that main area where if the price comes down here, history has now shown us a couple times, both there got a bounce, there got a bounce. Does that mean that it for sure bounces again? Of course not, but is it a valid question to ask? Absolutely. In terms of areas of resistance, main level that I'm pretty curious about. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of that line up there. It's just distraction and irrelevant right now. But is this trend line right here? I think a lot of people have drawn a trend line very similar to this. And, if the price does come back up, can it break up through that level? And maybe you're noticing, well, do I see a bear pennant? You do indeed see a bear pennant. Resistance, support, drop right there. So yes, another bear pennant pattern out there on TQQQ. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then go get signed up for that class. It'll be in a couple days, Thursday, September 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment, say hi, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But those two things help out the channel, and I thank you in advance for doing that. So get signed up for that class, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.